You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters, we're going to talk about Shedeur Sanders. We've had yet another former wide receiver, this time a Hall of Famer, that has come out and he's echoing some of the remarks that TJ Houshmandzadeh said a couple of weeks ago. I did a video on that about the fact that Shedeur Sanders may be the odd man out in Cleveland. Now, I've told you guys, I think ultimately it's going to be Flacco as the starter and Shedeur as the backup. I'm starting to wonder as many people as there is coming out of the woodwork on Kenny Pickett and Dillon Gabriel, including the fact that we found out that evidently Stefanski personally was the one that selected Dillon Gabriel. That's a problem. Now, I've been vocal about the fact that I feel like Sanders was a Jimmy Haslam pick, and I think that gives him a leg up, at least in the aspect of I don't think they're going to cut him. I really don't. And I felt for sure that Kenny Pickett would be the odd man out here. I mean, don't we all think we know what Kenny Pickett is? At least with Joe Flacco, it's like, we might be competitive enough to make that last wild card spot, maybe? Possibly? And he can certainly pull you out of the shitter if you're having a bad season. We've seen that before. So, here we go. While fifth-round picks usually start their NFL careers as a backup or practice squad player, Shedeur Sanders has a unique opportunity to compete for the starting job. He's battling Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, Dillon Gabriel to open the season as a starter. However, a Hall of Famer recently revealed he doesn't believe the rookie will earn the job. TJ Houshmandzadeh recently appeared on the Nightcap podcast where he revealed that someone within the Browns organization who is not a player told him that either Pickett or Gabriel will open the season as a starter. NFL Hall of Famer wide receiver Cris Carter discussed those comments on his Fully Loaded podcast. Jesus, every player's got a podcast now. Ex-player, janitor in the building, they all have a podcast. Quote, if they were saying Shedeur was the starter as a fifth rounder, you've got a real problem too, because he passed over all these guys in these reps in the offseason in shorts, Carter said. Quote, no, so I'm not that surprised, he said. When you put down a third-round pick on a quarterback, you do believe he has a certain skill set. They didn't ever think Shedeur would be around, so that's why I told you that I didn't think he was on their draft board. I'm sure he actually wasn't. I mean, look, if they passed over him multiple times and they picked Dillon Gabriel ahead of him, he probably was. I'm telling you, guys, you just look at the tape of when they took Shedeur and it's all over their faces. Jimmy Haslam called the room and said, take Shedeur Sanders. There's no way you will ever talk me out of that. Somebody could say they were in the room and that didn't happen, and I wouldn't believe them. Quote, so then once you get to the fifth round, they go ahead and take him as a commodity. But I'm not surprised by TJ, what he's saying at all. Pickett should be the starter. If you look at potential growth, understanding the division, and NFL offenses, he should be the starter. Gabriel's a third-round pick. Why wouldn't he be the backup? ? Carter labeled Flacco as an emergency option and bandage to stop the bleeding if things go south. The Hall of Famer added that Sanders has received 2 speeding tickets this offseason when fifth-rounders are not supposed to make any noise off the field. That is a great point. He predicted that Pickett will win the starting role while another quarterback will be moved before the season opener. Carter's analysis highlights the reality facing Sanders in Cleveland. Despite his impressive college statistics and awards, his draft position creates an uphill battle. NFL teams typically invest more heavily in quarterbacks they view as immediate starters, and Cleveland's third-round investment in Gabriel suggests they see him as the future. Well, you got to be careful with that, though, because the 49ers starting quarterback is Mr. Irrelevant. You know, Tony Romo came in off the scrap heap to Dallas, became a starting quarterback for 10 years. You know, a Hall of very good guy. Kurt Warner, Hall of Famer. Jeff Garcia, very damn good, came from the CFL. I mean, you got to be careful with the automatic draft position, blah, blah, blah. But by and large, Cris Carter's right. If you're a fifth-round pick, you better be on the best behavior known to man, because they don't want to F with a fifth-round pick. They don't. They don't want to F with you. I mean, you are to be literally seen and not heard. And you better let your play on the field do the talking. But, again, that goes against my theory that this is not a normal fifth-round pick, because I think, in my opinion, the owner is behind this pick. And if he is, they're not going to let them cut Shedeur Sanders. He's going to be on this roster at least this year. They will cut Flacco or Pickett before they cut Sanders. Now, Dillon Gabriel. I've said this before, I'll say it again. Strictly from a football standpoint, skill set, attributes, throwing strength, accuracy. The only problem with Dillon Gabriel is his size. He's got some mobility. It's his size. If he was 6'3" and 230, Dillon Gabriel might have been the first overall pick in the draft. I kid you not. I mean, he'd have certainly been probably the next guy after Cam Ward. He's got those kind of quarterback skills. The problem is he's Russell Wilson's size. Maybe smaller than Russell Wilson. He's like Kyler Murray. Now, even Kyler's got a stronger arm, I think, but you get the point. I was actually sort of surprised he fell as much as he did. But nonetheless, the point is his size is an issue, or he wouldn't have been drafted in the third round. I don't think they get rid of Gabriel. I don't think they get rid of Sanders, which turns your attentions to the two veterans. And I would have just assumed that Kenny Pickett was going to get trapdoored. Cleveland fans are going to lose their shit if Kenny Pickett is their starting quarterback. And at least if they name Joe Flacco the starter, the fan base beloves him. He's beloved in the city after what he did 2 years ago, taking them to the playoffs off the couch. If you name Kenny Pickett the starter, oh, fuck. Okay. I mean, good luck. Shit. That's going to be, that talk radio is going to be something else. I mean, seriously, just good thing it ain't New York or Boston. Wow. I just, and I also don't understand, why is Kenny Pickett taking reps away from anybody? I mean, in a scenario like this anyway. Okay, if he was in Jacksonville backing up, I could see Kenny Pickett backing up any other starter where there's not four quarterbacks. You know? Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.